I wanted to thank you for taking time to speak with me today.
Yeah, no worries, man. It's all good.
And I also want to send a thank you to Heidi for getting me involved in your
Yeah,
music.
100%. Heidi's an absolute legend. So yeah, I've been talking to her for a
Absolutely.
couple of years now. So
I wanted to ask you, were there any changes in the recording process for this EP?
so the no, not really. So the new EP, Echoes in Absence, for those who don't know, is out now on all streaming platforms. Um, our recording process, in terms of from a practical standpoint, we've always, since our single Redemption back in 2019, we've always recorded with the wonderful Mikey Cube at Rogue Recording Studios in Wembley. He recently did move studios just down the road, but the new facility now is like just next level, a complete upgrade. But yeah, working with him is always a dream. This is the first EP that we have recorded with Tansy, our new vocalist that we got in 2023. And yeah, no, the process has been really cool. The songs were written beforehand. That was a really cool process. Everyone chucking their ideas in, the usual kind of broken calling style that people are used to, just kind of throwing stuff at a wall and seeing what sticks. And what came out at the end was the EP. So we're really proud of it.
Yeah, and sonically, it hits hard. It's very clean. It's very well produced. And I love the quality of the material.
That's Mikey, man. He worked his magic.
I wanted to ask you if you could speak on the track Virus. It's one of my favorites on it.
Oh, awesome. So Virus is actually the first track we released with Tansy as a new member back in 2023. It's kind of like, so the song was written before Tansy joined the band, lyrically and structurally and instrumentally as well. So adapting the song to Tansy was a bit of a challenge at first, but where Tansy is such a brilliant vocalist and just wanted to get stuck in straight away, she adapted to the song very quickly, and we found moments for her that really helped her shine. The song Virus as well is a favorite of ours to play live as well. Just that big riff that comes in after
Sure.
the kind of drum and bass intro, and all the drum and bass stuff is Jack, our drummer, because he has a drum and bass background. But yeah, it's one of our favorite songs to play live, 100%. Lyrically, in case you didn't know, it's kind of like very much write in a, I mean, I'm a, I mean, on the inside, I'm a very angry person. On the outside, I'm a very chill person. So, but yeah, a lot in the world kind of pisses me off.
Sure.
Um, but I always try and keep a positive spin on it. But this is like kind of, this was my like kind of anti-social media song. I kind of want to put it as, just to kind of put it in basic terms. It's just like how so many people will like post this kind of image of themselves on social media, like, hey, look how amazing my life is compared to everyone
Sure.
else's, because like jet set around the world when you've probably hired that private jet for like $1,000 for a day and you don't even own it. Like, you know what I
Right.
mean? Like the veil of social media, like especially with like AI nowadays, like it can be so easily faked and overproduced and like not very like what's the word I'm looking for, no, well, not very real in like kind of
Right.
a basic sense. But yeah, like how everything can just be so like faked and just,
And I don't
yeah.
know how it is there, but here I can turn on the news and 50% of it's probably real.
Yeah, exactly. Like, you know, you turn on the TV and everyone kind of questions what's real and what's not nowadays, especially with like social media. Like, social media was kind of like that before AI made
Hmm.
everything worse. Like, you know, even in today's like kind of modern metal world, like, you know, you see like bands literally made from AI. I think there was a bit of like controversy a while back with a band from the UK called Holding Absence. A band literally, someone literally made an AI band and ripped them off literally like word for word, sound for sound. It was a whole big thing. But yeah, Virus is essentially my big like kind of like, you know, don't rely on social media to kind of get your jollies out of life. Go out in the world and get it
Sure.
yourself.
And another track I wanted to discuss is MH24. It's another one of my favorites.
Yeah. Again, another one that goes down really well live, especially with the kind of bouncy and groovy aspect to it. again, that's all Jack on the drums with his drum and bass background and the fact he beats a drum kit like he owes him money. Yeah, he very much runs that song. But yeah, that again, that was another fun one to record. Very sonically like there in terms of like the kind of effects and beeps and boops and stuff like that. Lyrically, it's very much a mental health anthem. Just like, now more than ever, people struggle with it.
Sure.
And it's like, it's our song to say it's okay to not be okay. Like, all of us in the band, we have our issues with mental health. I can only assume that you and other people who'll be watching this are suffering as well. Um, I mean, if you're not suffering mental health, fucking A, good for you. But I
Right.
know so many people who are, struggling at the moment. And yeah, if there's one message to take away from that song, it's literally the fact that it's okay to not be okay. Reach out, talk to someone. But yeah, that's our big like mental health anthem. And yeah, Tansy kills it on that song vocally as
Yes.
well. Again, like that was one of the first songs that she had a very big hand in writing the lyrics for. And you can tell like her like she puts her own little spin on everything, and it just is amazing.
And I wanted to talk to you as well about the album image. I wanted to ask you, what was the message from the album that you're conveying?
So there wasn't really like an overarching message for the album. The main concept of the album was essentially just to get a body of work because we've been sat on these songs for so long and we just wanted to get them out.
Sure.
But the song that we wanted to highlight in particular was the song In Absence.
Hmm.
Hence the title of the EP, Echoes in Absence.
Right.
And the kind of yeah, and with songs like Turn the Tide, it all had this kind of like almost like nautical kind of vibe to it, like almost like kind of crashing waves and kind of like I'd say it's even a metaphor for the band where like the kind of like we are like a crashing tide a lot of the time, like smashing like waves together and just
Hmm.
kind of whatever happens happens. So yeah, kind of like the rock formations and like you can actually see if you watch all of the music videos, you'll actually see on the artwork that there is a little snippet. So for example, there's a mask from the MH24 music video. Um and stuff like that. There's like a ticking clock that is the start of In Absence.
Sure.
Hence we have like the ticking clock at the start of the song. And there's little nuances like that in the artwork. Turn the Tide, obviously it's
Yes.
set at a beachfront, like on a rock formation with waves in the background. So yeah, all that little stuff there kind of gave so we don't necessarily have an overarching thing, but there are little things that kind of link all the songs together to make a body of work. So yeah, but yeah, mainly talking about In Absence, like that was in the nicest way possible. That's kind of like my existential crisis song,
Hmm.
because I wrote those lyrics in a pretty dark time in my life last year. And yeah, I kind of basically the concept of the song is will people actually give a shit when I'm dead? That's literally
Right.
like it sounds like really depressing, but I do kind of feel like a lot of people might struggle with that.
Absolutely.
We want people to care about us. Like it's an unconscious or conscious human need to be loved, to be cared about.
Sure.
Um, so yeah, in absence is about that. Like just, when I'm no longer here, is anyone actually gonna give a shit? Um, and it's deep, but that's we've always been that kind of band. We've never really been a band that's been able to like we've never really shied away from like anything really. Like our song Redemption is literally calling out the UK government and how they terribly handled the COVID-19 pandemic.
Sure.
Um, Literally saying fuck Boris Johnson. So yeah, we're not exactly a band that minces our words, let's say.
I wanted to ask you as well, um, if you could speak on your musical development and history, at what age did you begin?
Me personally, I
Yes.
started in 2009. So my first ever band was in secondary school, or it'd be considered middle school in
Hmm.
the US. I was around about in like kind of year 9 or year 10 or ninth or 10th grade, I guess, in that point. Um, for the Americans, I guess. Yeah, no, round about then, I was in a band called Afraid to Tell, with some school friends, and it just kind of went from there. Yeah, from there, I joined a band called Forever the Found, and that was like kind of like we kind of wanted to be like Bullet for My Valentine. And yeah, that went pretty well. We played some really fun gigs, like, back then when no one actually really cared about going to gigs and who was there. People just went to gigs for like a social thing.
Sure.
And yeah, the scene back then was just amazing. Like gigs would just pack out just because it was something for kids to do on a Saturday night. We go to like a local supermarket or a grocery store, steal a bottle of vodka and sneak it into the venue and get drunk and watch the bands, and it was a good time.
Uh,
Um, yeah, and then from there, 2013, I was in my pop punk phase. I joined a band called Forever the Foundations, with some friends who became friends for life. And we were way more successful than we should have. We got to play Camden Underworld in London, which is one of like the most premier venues in the country. That was crazy, and that sold out on Halloween with a band called Elliot Minor. That was pretty cool. Uh, yeah, from then I joined. From then actually, so 4 out of 6 members of Broken Calling, we all used to be in a band called Spreading the Disease, and we toured to the UK and Europe in that band. To keep a long story short, we had a really messy fallout with one of the members, and we just thought, and to be fair, the people who know us and people who know the history of both of those bands know what happened. So
sure.
that's kind of water under the bridge, the sign we don't really talk about anymore. But people who know, people who don't, they can look it up online or whatever. Yeah, but from Spreading the Disease came Broken Calling, and yeah, that's pretty much it. So they were like the main bands that I was in, and then I had numerous little kind of like side projects and stuff like that. Like at the moment, I'm also the vocalist in a band called Rift Dealer in the UK. That's a pretty new band. But again, this is about Broken Calling, not Rift Dealer. But yeah, just kind of uh we could always talk about Rift Dealer in another interview.
Absolutely.
But yeah, but yeah, the Rift Dealer's a new band that's kind of been around for about nearly a year now. But yeah, so Broken Calling, but Broken Calling kind of gave birth to that in a way.
Mm.
But yeah, no, so yeah, 2009 up until now. So yeah, almost coming up to 20 years myself, being a singer in metal bands, and yeah, not financially better for it, I'll tell you that.
No, I believe it's the same thing we're all going through, you know.
Yeah,
It's
exactly. No, but we
um
don't do we don't do it for the money, do we?
no. We do it for love and the passion of it. I review 20 albums to 30 albums a week. I do,
Yeah,
and
man.
this week I have 10 interviews, and it's just it's something I love with my heart. And I
Yeah,
want to
man.
get great music out to people. And if I can do that and I can make someone's day with turning them on to somebody, then what
Yeah,
I do
man.
is worth it to me.
Badass. Love that.
I wanted to ask you now the EP's out, what's the next step for you?
So we've already started with playing gigs for the year. I mean, now we've got a body of work out. Like I said, our main focus is getting a body of work out with Tansy on it, because there
Hmm.
wasn't many. They're basically that at the time, the only song we had at the time was Virus. So working on these songs and getting them out on the EP was kind of like the priority over the past couple of years. Now we've got it out, shows, gigs, touring. That's what we want to do. We've had a really good we've had a really nice kind of run of like tours and gigs over the past couple of years, and we just want to build on that. We've had amazing opportunities to play in the UK, up and down the country, play in Europe. We've done 2 shows in Malta over the years with some really good friends of ours. We've played with some amazing bands from the UK. Um, in fact, actually, our first show of the year was sold out at the Black Heart in Camden with a band called Premier Jester. It was their first ever show, and they sold it out. Like for a new band, selling out your first show is kind of unprecedented in the UK. So the fact they pulled it off, hats off to them. They're also on the same management as us, Hammer Down All In. So you never know. You could have a Premier Jester
Sure.
and Broken Calling tour in the works. So because the show was immense. Premier Jester killed it. The crowd was amazing. So yeah, it's just shows. We want to get a couple new songs out this year as well. So we're going to hopefully have a couple of singles. We're writing at the moment. We're going to get some new music out and just kind of keep the momentum going. So yeah, shows, new music, and yeah, it's just going to be nuts.
And for someone who hasn't seen you live, tell me what can you expect at your show?
Pure fucking chaos. We are, I personally say we're one of the more energetic bands on the scene. Our guitarist Martin, we tried tying him down with a lead to the drum kit. He just took the lead and the drum kit with him at one point. So yeah, we just stick a wireless on him and let him go. Tansy is a big ball of energy and just is like a hyperactive child that's had too many Smarties on stage. Jack beats a drum kit like it owes him money, and I've been told I can be quite terrifying. But that's just on stage. Off stage, I'm very different. But yeah, no, all of that together, like we're a high energy, in your face kind of band, and yeah, we kind of it's weird, like in a fun way, we'll make you have a good time because that's what it's all about. Like we
Sure.
just want people to have a good time, and it's like with the way I see shows, shows are like an energy transfer. Like if you want the crowd to go nuts, you have to give them that energy and
Sure.
like
Absolutely.
give them that opportunity to be like, hey, come get crazy with us and we're all gonna have a good time. So yeah, just you if you want to have a good time and you might be a bit sore in the morning, come to a Broken Calling show.
And and you've been doing this for a while. I wanted to ask you, is there any routines that you go through before you hit the stage?
I mean, apart from the obvious, like vocal warm-ups, I love a bit of fast food before a show. Like, I love me some like kind of, I mean, in the UK, we've got Popeyes, we've got KFC, we've got
Oh,
your
yeah.
generic chicken shops that people probably know of in the UK with kind of like the culture of the country. We have like, fried chicken shops with the boss man behind the counter selling you cheap fried chicken. But yeah, no, my thing is like, yeah, I'll always have like a nice bit of like nothing too heavy, obviously, because I
Mhm.
don't want to throw up on stage. But yeah, nice bit like nice fried chicken sandwich or nice bit of chicken and chips. Yeah, that kind of gets me going. Um, Apart from the other guys, Tansy's very random. Tansy is very random. She'll just put random shit out of her bag. She'll be like sat there, like she'll have a bit of like random, like she'll be like eating like tuna like before a show sometimes, or at one point she pulled out like raw like peas in their pod and was like, "Yo, does anyone want any?" So
Wow.
yeah, she's a bit random like that. And yeah, again, like usual stuff, warming up, stretching because we jump around a lot, and yeah, like making sure we're all nice and limber. And yeah, just hyping each other up. That's the thing as well. Like we hype each other up a lot. Like we'll start like just screaming and shouting at each other, like, "Are you ready? Let's do this!" Like, ah! And yeah, that's like a thing we do as well. So yeah, like we just hype each other up so we can get the crowd hype.
And came back to this EP. I wanted to ask you, what is the best way to get a copy of the EP or a merchandise that you have?
If you want to, so at the moment we're updating our merch store, but I believe the website is brokencalling.bigcartel.com. So we'll be updating that with new merch designs and stuff like that. At the moment, we are in the process of getting a limited. So what we're going to do is we're planning to do a limited signed physical copies of the Echoes in Absence EP, and we'll be selling them at shows. So every single copy of the EP we sell that's physical will be signed by the band, and you'll be able to get them at shows. Apart from that, the EP and all of our music is on Spotify, Apple Music, Amazon Music, Deezer, Tidal, anywhere, YouTube Music, anywhere you stream music, you can listen to Broken Calling.
And lastly, my friend, I wanted to ask you, if you could give a message to your fans, what message would you give them?
Have fun. Just have fun. Whatever it is you do, just have fun with it. Doesn't matter whether you make loads of money from it. Doesn't matter if, like, you're gonna have good and you're gonna have bad days. But at the end of the day, just enjoy what you do, have fun. And if I could give one bit of advice, do it with some friends. Always do it with some friends. Because that way you're all just gonna win and you're always gonna win. Because no matter what, your friends are there to back you and they just make everything more fun. Like I am very grateful to be in a position where I'm in two really cool bands with some of my best friends. So yeah. And just have fun with life. Just and don't half-ass it. Just go
Right.
for it. Whatever you want to do, just go for it. Like, whether it's being in a metal band or you want to get that dream job, just go for it, man. Just do it.
Well, I wanted to take a moment to thank you for an amazing EP. And I also wanted to thank Heidi again for getting us together because I am so happy I got to experience your music. And listening to EP, it made me go back and listen to your older material. And I love the material through and through.
I appreciate it, dude. I really do. Yeah, and just a shout for anyone, if you want to follow us on social media, you can literally Google Broken Calling, which I still think is crazy to this day, or you can search us on any social media at Broken Calling UK.
All right. Thank you, my friend. And you have a great rest of your evening.
Thank you. You too, man.
Cheers.
No worries. All the best.